Imagine your life was like a fire. Anything that goes into the fire, good or bad, is fuel for the fire. It's an opportunity for you to learn, expand, and grow as an individual. This idea is called amor fati, and it comes from Stoicism, and it means a love for fate. And in this video, we're going to be unpacking this idea and figuring out how we can actually apply it to our own lives. So this idea kind of teaches us that we should embrace every single moment, regardless of what it is. Unfortunately, life is not always fair, and we can be dealt cards that are pretty messed up. But what's awesome is there's this idea of three realms of control. One, we have things that we have zero control over at all. So that's the sun rising up in the morning. Then we have things that we have partial control over. For example, winning a tennis match. And finally, we have things that we have complete control over. These are our own actions. And ideally, we want to be focusing on just the final area, because in every single moment, that's the only really thing that we can control. And this just shows that in even the toughest moments, we have the decision if we're going to react with anger or if we're going to sit down, reflect, and ask ourselves, what can I do in this very moment to ensure that I'm becoming the person that I want to become? Or if you don't want to ask yourself that question, you can ask, what would X person that I look up to do in this moment? And then try your best to operate with that answer. And we're really just trying to bring a new perspective onto our life and try to be mindful in every single moment instead of being reactive to all the things that are happening in our environment. So ideally, this is giving us a different lens and perspective to view the situation through, so we're able to operate in the best fashion, where we want to become that person, and we're not just letting the victim mentality and the world just affect us and drag us through our entire existence. And what's really interesting is I stumbled across this idea that came from Tim Ferriss's Tools of Titans, and it was a story from Jason Nemer of how he applied this exact thing in his own life. So imagine you're Jason. You're in San Francisco, you have packed up all of your shit, all of your belongings, literally everything you have to your name, thrown it in a van, and you're now living out of it. And on his 30th birthday, his friends decided to throw him a party. And on that very night, two things would change the course of his life. The first being, he was gifted a book on Buddhism. The second being, everything in his van, in his entire life, was stolen from him the next morning when he woke up, and he literally had nothing. So what did he do? He started reading this book that he had been gifted on Buddhism, and on page 4, he stumbled across this idea of wandering and homelessness. So he instantly had this eureka moment. He was like, oh, great, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start traveling the world and teaching and practicing acro yoga to various people. And if it wasn't for that exact moment where he decided to make the best of his situation, potentially acro yoga wouldn't be a worldwide phenomenon. And another interesting thing that I learned from Jason is he doesn't really evaluate things as good or bad. Instead, he just asks himself, can I evolve from this specific situation? What do I want now? Where is my center now? And this idea is extremely beautiful because, again, life will happen. We don't want to be putting a label to every single little thing. Just kind of seeing, as you evolve, like, where are you going and how can you make the best out of your situation? And just being able to apply that in like such hard moments where like everything of your entire life is just gone is really just remarkable for me. And it really just goes to show you can find light in even like the darkest moments. And this just kind of gave me a little bit of hope that I can do the same thing in my own life. And I really hope you can make this idea of amor fati a habit in your life. So the next time stuff doesn't go to plan, you can apply it. And if you actually want to figure out 10 different ways to improve and make the habits stick in your own life, be sure to check out a video here where I talk all about that. Anyways, I will see you guys later.